She enjoys many hobbies, including crafting, photography, and woodwork, but finds little time for them between parenting, working, and attending college. May I present Carrie, member of the Occupational Therapy Assistant Class of 2019.
Hi guys. First of all, congratulations. I'm so happy for us all, and I'm honored to be speaking to you today. I'm curious how many dozens of students must have declined this offer before they got down the list to me, but whatever, I'll take it. I often think I probably have a brand new soul. I feel like there were a lot of things I had to learn the hard way. When I was little, my mom warned me that the stove was hot. I had to touch it to learn the stove lesson. I also had to learn the iron lesson and the coffee pot lesson, among other things. As I aged, the lessons got more complex, but my method for learning them has stayed constant. Some of these lessons I'd like to share with you today. So stoves are hot and they can burn you. Just kidding. Something I often tell my two sweet kids when they're faced with a new challenge is that it's okay to be scared, but you have to be brave. In an effort to set a good example for them, I try to follow this guideline as well. Hence why I'm standing on the stage right now. When I look back on the last 2 years at Marion Tech, I've learned that the way I deal with things that scare me or overwhelm me is to completely freak out about them for a bit, and then I calm down and I get to work. Through this process, I usually end up surprising myself at what I can pull off. This may come naturally to some, but to me it's kind of new and I had to figure it out. Fear in some circumstances is Fear is good in some circumstances, but a lot of times it can be a hindrance to reaching greater heights. I'm kind of over it now, except for right now, apparently. I'm kind of over it now. In the future, I'm going to allow myself to be scared for a bit, but then I'm going to be brave and seek out what I want. I might fail, but as author and businesswoman Ariana Huffington so wisely points out, we shouldn't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. When I was in high school, years ago, I was a pretty horrible student. Seriously, I at one point had a .07 GPA. .07. I mean, that's actually quite impressive if you think about it. I worked really hard for that. I found the academic part of school to be boring. I realized I wasn't very good at it, and so I didn't try very hard. And when I did try, a lot of times I still didn't do well. I had trouble paying attention and would often spend the entire class counting ceiling tiles or staring out the window, bored out of my mind. For this reason, the only A's I ever received my entire 4-year high school career were in subjects that interested me: art, photography, and sex ed. Seriously. So obviously I only cared about the necessities in life. When I was younger, I was very laid back. I didn't push myself because I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I didn't think I was smart, which was evidenced repeatedly by my grades. I had a lot of fun, but doing so poorly in school only made me feel worse about myself. After high school, I decided that I was not cut out for college. I spent several years faithfully following a band all over the country, attending concert after concert after concert, selling homemade wares to pay my way. I eventually moved to Colorado on a whim, choosing its location only by means of folding a U.S. map to the western side, closing my eyes and pointing. After a failed attempt at college and some family drama, I accidentally moved to Columbus, Ohio, and got a job taking care of a girl with cerebral palsy. I remember being so uncomfortable in my life before I found occupational therapy. I loved my job, but I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And at my age of wandering in limbo was getting pretty tiresome. I eventually learned that I would need college to do the things that interested me. 3 states, 4 schools, and 5 majors later, I finally figured it out. Some of you may be lucky enough to already know what your passion is. I was not. It took me many years to figure it out. Occupational therapy is such an amazing fit for me. It feels like home. So don't let fear hinder you. Don't waste energy on it. Put your energy in figuring out what you want, and then go for it with everything you've got, like your life depends on it, because it does. Another thing this experience has taught me that I'd like to share with you: let people help you. I seriously wouldn't be here if it weren't for my teachers and advisor who not only pushed me, but showed me that they believed in me, or at least pretended to. Originally, my plan was to take one class at a time. When I first called about the program, I was a married mother of two working full-time. All I could possibly envision was to take one class at a time. I would have been graduating with your future children in like the class of 2040. During my second semester here, I thought I was insane when I signed up for 3 classes, one of which was the toughest class of all for the entire program, the dreaded functional anatomy. Yeah, those muscle flashcards still haunt my dreams. I didn't believe I could do it. I thought I would crash and burn. Luckily, I was smart enough to trust in my advisor and allow him to advise me. He encouraged me to give it a shot and assured me that I could pull it off. It was brutal, hands down the hardest class I've ever taken. But I wasn't alone. I had a class full of cohorts walking the same path. We helped each other. We supported each other. We gave each other strength when we needed it, and we were a safe place to commiserate when that was needed too. No one else truly understood how tough it was, what we were going through, or why we all thought we were walking around thinking we were doctors. Right? Not only did I not crash and burn that semester, but I ended up with an A. It was barely an A, but it was an A. After those grades came in and I confirmed that the school hadn't made a terrible mistake, I felt like I was invincible. 3 classes while working full-time with 2 kids, an A in functional anatomy, and never even having taken regular anatomy? Psh, I got this! 4 classes? Sure, why not? I can do anything. It's funny, the same invincible attitude used to get me into lots of trouble back in the day, but this time I used my powers for good. The following semester I signed up for 5 classes. Again, totally crazy. And I wasn't the only one. There were 3 other women who did it alongside me, with their own set of obstacles: kids, jobs, life events, and worst of all, an unrelenting and at times raging anxiety. These A's I received did not come easy. I worked my butt off to earn them. I would spend 8 or 9 hours a day on weekends studying. I had to get creative to find time. I would record lectures and play them on my hour drive to and from school. I always took advantage of the after-class study sessions. I would study whenever I could. I had Quizlet on my phone, and if I was standing in line at the grocery store, you better believe I was studying. I made it important to myself, and that's what I hope for all of you. Find what you love and who you truly are, and then make it important enough to yourself to honor that. Put effort into bringing that to fruition. Some people obtain their strength from a belief in a higher power. I'm happy for those people that they have something to comfort them. I think it's important to have something to believe in. I personally obtained strength during this challenging time by allowing the people around me who care about me to help me. The first day of fall semester, the one in which I so boldly signed up for 5 classes, I suddenly became a single parent. Life got pretty hectic all of a sudden. I'm typically someone who likes to handle my own stuff and not burden anyone. For some reason, this time, maybe born out of necessity, I not only accepted help, but at times I even asked for it. I got support from my family, my amazing sister, without even being asked, dropped everything and moved in to help me. She became my right hand and my left at times. My brother and his wife were extremely generous with their time and help. My sweet mom, who I consider to be the human equivalent of the giving tree, and even my extended family supported me in various ways. If my dad were still alive, he would certainly be on the same list. I got help and support from my 3 amazing teachers, Luann, Lori, and Josh, who are what I consider to be the gold standard of what a teacher should be. They listened, they encouraged, and they supported me in my endeavors. All 3 of them went above and beyond what their teacher duties required to help us through and see us succeed. I carpooled to school with one of my besties, who was also my study buddy. She constantly reminded me of assignment due dates. There's no doubt in my mind I would have failed without her. Other classmates pitched in as well, sharing books and notes. One friend saw how completely overwhelmed my ADHD and I were when looking at the daunting assignment schedule for 5 classes. She took it upon herself to buy a planner and fill in the assignments for me. Another friend kept me on a good schedule of girl talk with a side of queso and me jalapeno every week. And there's another friend who frequently reminded me that it's not that bad. All of these people made up the beautiful framework for me to manage this great accomplishment that we all share here today. I hope you were fortunate enough to have had a similar experience. As we begin the next chapter of our lives, keep in mind that there are people who love you and want to help you. Isn't it nicer knowing that we're all in this together? That's such a better representation of the kind of world in which I'd like to live. So when I accepted this nomination to speak, I promised Lori I would not use this as my political soapbox. And Josh said I'm only allowed 1 quote from my favorite band, Fish, so here goes. If you go there and after you do, all of these dreams would be yours to pursue. The rest of your lifetime devoid of a care. If you keep your eyes open, you may find yourself there. Congratulations, class of 2019. You're going to do great things.